Here we go. All right, we'll present my screen. Okay, so we are in Seesaw. I'm in the activity library, and that's where we're going to be working mainly for this one. The whole idea is using that multi-page sort of thing. So I'm going to show you an example of one I've created already. So we're going to take this one right here. And notice that I have a link up in the top area. When I hit that link, it's going to take me to a website that I built. On that website, I have on Monday what they're going to do, on Wednesday what they're going to do, on Thursday and Friday. And then I have some math resources as well. So this was just a quick way of playing around with a website. To put the links in there, I simply took the URL or embed code and put it right into embed. When I put that in, I can put my URL in here. So say I want to use this brain pop video right here. I can take the URL from that brain pop and put it in. It's going to show me the picture of the video and I can insert the video. And then I use the blue box to help me put it where I want it so that it looks the way I want it to. Okay, so this one's bigger than the YouTube ones. The other thing is I can put it just like this one here, and I can put the YouTube links here. So it's really up to you how you want to manage the content on your page. I just want you to see that that is an option. So if choice boards are not the way you want to go, then this might be an option as well. This one has a website instead of a choice board, but a choice board could go here instead. So that's an option. You'll notice that in here I have my instructions off to the side and I have instructions here as well. One of the reasons choice boards and the websites even became a thing was that prior to, I think, last week, you couldn't put hyperlinks in this instruction area. So if you're wanting to also play around with that, you now can put hyperlinks in here as well. One of the other cool things that you can do is if you Google Seesaw icon shortcuts, then it will actually bring up something like this. Let's see, I want to go to the website. Right here. And it has what to type in the instructions so that those shortcuts come up as the picture icon. If you've not seen that before, that's how people are getting the cutesy instructions to be in there. And again, you can use the instructions, whatever. Then in this template, there's actually 12 pages, and that's where we're going to be kind of playing around with today, is what to do with those 12 pages of multi-page content. I'm going to go in and edit the activity. When I do that, I go into this editing mode. Again, this is where I attached the link to my website. This could also be the link to the choice board, which we're going to play around with, building an example from scratch. I'm just showing you what this example already looks like. I have the instructions here that would play audibly for the kids. This would be where I could put hyperlinks. I can use those shortcuts, those sorts of things. As you kind of work through, okay? So then I'm going to go into the template as well. Notice that I have a recording on all of these already done. I just wanted you to see what you could do with the instructions. And so in this example, we're looking at the reading curriculum. And off to the side, I want you to see down this side right here, one of the premium features is this multi-page situation here. And so it works like a slide presentation or like a PowerPoint presentation where you've got your slides. One of the ways that I organized was that each day was its own color. So green was all on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. So each day kind of represented a specific color. So they knew once they went to a new color that they were done for the day. There's different ways of kind of managing your content. I just wanted you to be able to see kind of some different ways that make it easy for kids to see what they need to see. And then I have where they can play the video and watch me walk through what they need to do to be able to finish their assignments. And so you can come in and record and do different things that you need to do in each one. And so for this example, we have Monday. So they watch the video and then they say what they noticed. Then they draw two things they learned from the video. They do the same thing for the next book because we're going to be looking at the difference between nonfiction and with illustrations and photographs so that they can see the difference between the fact that not all informational text has pictures. Sometimes there are illustrations, and that can still be a nonfiction book. Then we have a book sort where they can move the manipulatives into the different areas to help them look at which ones are under which category. Tuesday, they circle an option and learn a little bit about main idea. Then they read the poem. They look for CVCE words because we're going to be talking about the silent E. And so then we move into the story of the week, main idea, three details. They do a writing area. And then the other option here would be to say, take a picture of your work, or you can write it below. And then over here, it has the instructions on what the expectations to complete it would be. Here, when we talk about it, they get to see how I want them to highlight the words and the instructions. And then they're going to use that poem again. So they're going to go back to the poem and they're going to practice writing. And again, they can either put them in a picture and upload them, or they can write them on the screen. Then we've got the handwriting, and so they get to watch how that handwriting works in the video. So they can get to see what those steps are to be able to form the letters. And we talk about that a little bit in the instructions in the video. And then they get to watch the Magic E video and go in it. So you can see that this is the entire week all in one thing. The colors and the week or the days are all up in here. And so you can kind of play around with how all of that works. So again, that's the example. Again, you can just copy and edit that as you wish to if you want to, or we can also look at building that on our own. And so I'm going to go back to my library. And when I go to the library, I can go to create new activity. Now, in the last example, we already started working on a choice board, and I want to show you the difference between using that choice board or using a choice board and using the template with the choice boards so that you can see how the whole thing kind of comes together. All right, let me see. I can't find my choice board. Where did it go? Maybe I got rid of it. Oh, nope, there it is. All right, so here was the choice board that we kind of played around with. Again, it's not a super pretty example, but it does have this week's information in it. So I'm actually going to steal these slides and make it into their own slide. To do that, I am going to go in and make a new slideshow. Google's going to take its sweet time. I'm going to go to my folder. And I'm going to go to new slide. And then I'm actually going to come into File. I'm going to import slides. And I'm going to go to Choice Boards. And I'm going to select the ones I want to pull over. So in this case, we're just going to take this one and this one because that one was the other one that had the links in it. So we're going to import those slides in. I don't need this title one anymore, so I'm actually going to delete that slide. So my choice board is here. Week, May 4 through 8. Okay. Now, again, I've already done all the linking and things like that. That's in the previous video, so those are there. I can use arrows and or numbers to tell them what um, I want them to do in what order. There's lots of different ways that I can play around with it. I'm just using this example. Okay, so now I have my presentation. So first off, there is sharing. I want to make sure that anyone with the link can view. Again, if that's not the setting that's already there and you have it as anyone in HEB can view, you want to go to more and make sure that anyone with the link can view. I have it in a folder that automatically already shares it like that. So if that's something you want to learn about, I can also do that. You can just put it in the chat. But for this case, it's already shared the way I want it. I want to make sure that there's no sign-in required and they can view the item. And then I'm going to hit save. And then I'm going to hit done. And the next thing I'm going to do in Seesaw is going to go, or in Google for Seesaw, is going to go to File, and I'm going to go to Publish to the Web. When I publish to the web, I'm just going to go ahead and hit Publish and OK. This is going to give me a publish link right here as well. Okay, so then when I am back in my Seesaw, I can put my instructions in. Remember, I can use those shortcuts if I want to. I can add my voice instructions, but that multimedia, I'm going to go to upload. I'm going to select from Google Drive, and I'm going to select my week of May 4 through 8 board and select. Now, it's going to look like, oops, now I'm writing on it. It's going to look like it's just made it a picture. So that is one thing. This is where those directions can come into play and say, hey, this is how we're going to use this. When you are clicking on these things, they're going to come up and show blah, 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 blah. I'm going to want you to do this one first. Then you can go on and do the rest at whatever ones you want to do, or whatever you're wanting the directions to say. Hit done, and now you've got your thing. So then when I click OK, notice that that is not in my template. Okay, it's an example attached. And so when I do that, it's just adding it as an instructional area. Okay. So then another way to make sure that they can get what they need from this area is to put in that publish to the web. So again, remember we've published it to the web, and I'm going to Control C to copy that. And I'm going to also add that in here. Wait a second, maybe I had to do it at the same time. Maybe I did it wrong. Should do it right. Nope. Oh, that's what it is. Put in the caption. Remember my own steps. All right, so then put it in there. Now, the link is now attached to that example. So then when I come in to add the template, that's where I can start putting in all of the extra pieces. So in the example that we were playing around with today, we had the anchor chart and all those different things, but they also had, let's see if I can pull that back up again. All right, so they had the book itself, they had the preview for vocabulary. So again, I can just download these, or I can take a picture of them. It doesn't matter which one. So I'm going to download that one. I'm going to download that one. This one, I'm just going to copy and paste the text right into my Seesaw. So this one, I just want a drawing this time. I'm going to come into text and I'm going to paste my information. I'm going to click out to get the move option, and I'm going to come in and play around with it. Come on. It's too big. Come on. Go this way. Make it small enough. Maybe I can find the middle thing. Okay, there it is. Pull it out. Out. Okay, so what I could then do is take these and make them movable and then lock the rest of this. So that would be how I'd make that or put them in a little box if you wanted to, but you could do them in little text boxes as well. So I would just take that and copy and then put little text boxes you can put at the end of the words. And so you would just do that until you had all the manipulatives that you needed. Okay. I would suggest kind of doing it. Whoops, I did it wrong on all of them. Again, you would just do that till you had all of your pieces and then pull them over to the side and then select these. Maybe you can only do one at a time and hit Control D to duplicate them. So then you've got multiples off to the side and you can just stack them right on top of each other. Again, that's how you build those manipulatives off to the side. And then you would lock this one. So those little 3 dots are here. I'd come in and lock that so that stays in one place. And then they can come in and pull their words wherever they needed to. Okay. So again, you may want to kind of play with some of the different pieces to make that more user-friendly, because obviously you wouldn't want the boxes around it and things like that. But that's one of the things. Then I can come in and say, you know what, I still need a picture. So I'm going to upload a picture. And so then I can say, okay, those downloads that I just did, maybe I took pictures of them instead. So I'm just going to use one that I've already done. So this one was a text and analyzing features. So I'm actually going to go to a new tab. So add page and put my picture in. Sorry. Documents, this one. So then I can come in and put my document in here. Again, same thing, come in and lock it in place. And then the kids can come in and use their pens to do what they need to do to be able to answer that. Okay. So then I would just keep building as each one of those came up. Okay. So then the next one was check for understanding. So they have some questions. I can come in and hit questions. And, the other thing too is if you're having them do this on different days and you want to break it up, this is where you can do the color choices and things like that that kind of help. Okay, so if I'm wanting to change the background, I can come in and just say I want to change the background to green for the day. Okay, so then I can come in and say I need these answered. And I need enough space in here for them to answer. Okay, we'll make it a little bit bigger so that they're all in one line. So then again, I would lock this in place and then kids would just be able to write over the top of it. All right. Again, every time they have a picture of something or something created for you, you can always put it in here as a picture, going through picture there, adding in the text here. So there's lots of kind of fun ways of making that all work. But that multi-page piece also has a feature where I can come in and duplicate the page straight in here as well. So if I'm wanting to show an example of how something works, I can then duplicate that and then come in to record it. And when I record it, I can come in and do whatever the example of what it is that I want them to be watching or looking for. And I'm sorry, I'm drawing with my mouse, so that's about as good as it's going to get. And then I can come in and, play around with, I can put things, all of that is being recorded while I'm having that recording done. So it creates kind of a video. Then you hit done, they can watch the video of everything needed and go into their work and do the work on the next one. And so that's kind of a way of kind of playing around with how instructions can work, especially for kiddos who may not have a lot of support at home for parents to help out with. So again, you hit the green check and it's ready. You've got your template below. You have the instructions and everything here. So we're going to put a sample instructions. Good if I actually type things. Remember to use symbols with for and after the word. All right, so then once I've hit save, I have the activity. And notice that when I click on it here, then I get the link to go to it. And it looks like a web page with all of my links ready to go. There's no view or request access or all of those different things. All of those go away. All they get is this right here. So if there's places for them to go, again, they have their options and can go back and forth as needed on here. So that makes it very easy to see on the Chromebooks and an Android device, even on a Apple device. But they also have View Original, and that's going to open it as a PDF. So if they need it printed, you've got that option. And then you have View Google Doc, and that's going to give you the view like you see. Okay. So those are kind of the options. Obviously, I own this one, so it's opening up as if I own it, but you would make sure that it was in the Can View, and then they're going to get that little yellow Can View option. I don't have any of those open, but you get the Can View option right there. So they would still be able to click and go to different things, but that just kind of shows you what the different options within this menu looks like, even though it added it like it was a PDF when you come in to this publish link right here. So that needs to be in your directions. And then again, they come in and use the template, but it's all in one-stop shop, which is kind of nice. All right, I'm going to go back over here. Make sure I covered all of the pieces. Okay. Any questions on that? I know, Tanya, you've been building your own, so.
Yes. Yeah, so I didn't realize that you can.
I can't hear you. Hold on, let me see if I've turned my thing down. Better? Go ahead and talk again.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Test. Okay. So I didn't realize that in the template, you can make a duplicate and then record on one page, and then the kids can do the work on the next page on the duplicate. So do the kids have to does the recording have to be on the second page, or can it be on the first page?
Oh, it could be on the first page.
Okay. And then I also missed, I didn't see the website part, but that was pretty cool. You can make your own website and then link that in there.
Yeah.
Okay, I must have missed that on the first training that you did today.
I didn't do a website at the first training today.
Okay.
This is the only time I've mentioned the website. I did this with Shady Oaks, and so
Okay.
we built a website at that point. But I can go through how to do that.
Yeah, I would love to see that. And then what I
Sure.
assume is that you would just create a new website,
Mm-hmm.
and then you don't have to publish it to the web. You just link it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
that is awesome. I didn't realize.
Yeah. So
Okay.
when I go into sites, I can come in and hit the little plus sign to create a new site. Um, From there, I title it, I make it cutesy, all that I want to. But then I can come in and put my text boxes to organize it. I can use pages to give me where I want them to go. If I do a sub page, that's how I get the drop down menus from the top.
Okay.
So that's good to know. If I already want them to go to a specific place that's not my website, I can select a link and it goes straight to other websites I want them to go to. And so that's a way of getting resources without having to build pages with links to resources. So it's less steps. So that's an option there. Um, then down here, what's kind of nice is they've got some of these already laid out as a layout for you. So, say I wanted to do some video resources, I can throw my videos in here, or my documents, or my choice boards, or anything, my books, anything like that. And then down here, I can tell them about it. So it kind of does all the text and kind of editing for you there. But you've also got buttons. A button works a little bit different because I have to give it a name and I link to something. So if I wanted to go to something specific based off of just the button, then that's how the button could work. Otherwise, I can go to Drive and say I want a specific something to go in there. And so let's take our home learning today and say I want my choice board. Actually, you know what? I want the one that actually looks like the choice board. I want that one. Get rid of that one and insert. And that's going to put it directly in as if it's part of the web page.
Wow. Okay. That's cool.
But that's also where I can get that embed from the publish to the web. I can also do an embed code. And that's going to let me copy this right here. And that can go in the site. And so you don't get it looking like a slide as much. Instead, you'd go to embed code,
Mhm.
put that in there and hit next. And if it's not quite the right size, you go back to that code. And you make it bigger right here. So you can say how big you want it to go. Otherwise, it says full screen is allowed anyway. So I can hit insert and play around with it as needed. So you can see that it only gets as big as it gets.
Did you just delete that one little part out on when you embedded and you made it a different size?
No, it's the same size that I was going to have it.
Oh,
I
okay.
didn't change anything. I just
Oh,
showed you where if you needed to.
and so that thing that you highlighted, how do you change that? Do you change the number or do you just take that one part out?
Yes, you would change the number. If you
Okay.
take it out altogether, it won't work.
Ah, okay. I see.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All
So
right.
what that looks like when you preview it, just so you can see the difference, it doesn't give me that black line. So it
Yeah.
embeds it in the page. So it just looks a little cleaner. It's up to you how you want to do it. You can
Okay.
play with it and try and get it one way or the other.
And then,
So the other thing too is when you are previewing the different pieces, make sure you look at what it's going to look like on a phone.
uh,
Because see, that changes it too. This one's going to automatically make it look like the phone's going to work a little bit better on a tablet. So this is going to be for their Chromebooks and on a tablet kind of device. So you can kind of see what works better and what doesn't. I'm just showing you options.
yeah. Okay.
But that's a good thing to test as well because you don't know always what they're using. But you can go straight to YouTube and pull in YouTube videos as well. And then when you're ready to publish, you just go up to publish, you give it a name. You come in and say who's to view it. You go to manage and change. and you can say that either specific or anyone can find the and view. So it really, you know, I they'd have to know the exact link name to your website to find it anyway. So you're probably pretty safe on that.
Okay.
Then you'll hit save. It'll be published. I can't publish it just yet because I haven't named it or given it anything. But see here, this is that other thing. So now that I have it up there, I can request that it's not searchable.
Oh, I
So
see. Yeah.
yep. And then I would hit publish. And then from there, once I've done that the first time, then those settings now will live under the person.
Okay.
Okay. So after I've done it the first time, you'll get a little drop down so you know you've done it once, and then it will live under the person. And again, themes and everything are over here, so you can make all the cutesy stuff there. But you're going to do most of your work within adding pieces here, the layouts. You can add pieces down here, and then your pages all come through here. So you can kind of see on this one, since I've already got some stuff in here, you can see I started working on the next week. And so it's all the same stuff. It was just showing you how I would have multiple weeks then that come up. So I can hit duplicate here so that it's all in the same area I want it to go into and
Uh-huh.
give it a new title, hit done, and then they just show up here. But maybe I didn't want them to look like that. Instead, I can drag this one up to here and it's going to make it a sub page. And that's where I get those little drop downs.
Oh, okay. Well,
And
that's
so now I've got a drop down to go and it cleans it up in the navigation a little bit, which is kind of cool.
yeah. Okay. And then I understand that also in Seesaw that if a kid is working on an iPad, they cannot click on the choice board. They have to click on view original, right?
Yes.
Okay, so I need to start adding that to my instructions because some kids
Yes.
struggled with that.
Yep.
Okay. All right. Well, that's awesome information.
Good. Okay. I'm already into the next one. That took longer than I anticipated.
Sorry.
No, that was me. I didn't talk fast enough. I'm going to stop the recording so I can start the new recording.